outside. Never lost a duel in my life. Say about that one. Apologize, took me a while. I'd get in my natural shooting outfit. I never lost a duel in this one.
I never lost a duel before, and I'm never gonna lose one.
Got 14 notches on my pistol, and you're gonna be the 15th one, buddy. Oops, that shouldn't have happened. Let's try that again, shall we?
Food stylists work in conjunction with food photographers to ensure that food looks attractive in the finished product, such as advertisements, commercial, movies, etc. People who usually work this job get paid between $65,000 and $210,000 per year. A minimum of an associate's degree in culinary arts, baking arts, nutrition, or related field is required to become a food stylist. The best location to get a job like this would be San Francisco, California. We think that this job seems fun and would be easy money.
My name is Nick Mills. This is my guy, Late.
Lathan Cannon with Javelin Gang Boss.
What do you think about this job?
This job is very beneficial to the movie making scene in Hollywood because you need somebody to be able to make the set and have it ready for you before you make the film.
Cut it. What's the best location to do a job like this?
Either like Atlanta or Los Angeles, California.
Description of the job.
I work with the construction crew and make sure the set on the job looks right.
Count out a bit. How much people get paid doing the job?
They make about $47,000 to $76,000 a year.
What kind of education do you need to do the job?
You don't need any kind of college majors or educational programs.
What do you think about this job?
This job is very beneficial to the movie making scene in Hollywood because you need somebody to be able to make the set and have it ready for you before you make the film.
Cut it.
Hey, I'm Jason. I'm Tristan. Today we're going to be talking about Foley artists. So, just some quick statistics before we go into what a Foley artist really is. They make around $56,000 to $73,000 per year. You don't need any specific education requirements, but you do need to be able to get your hands dirty. You don't need to be afraid to do that.
Best place to be a Foley artist in our region is Atlanta, Georgia.
So what exactly does a Foley artist do? Right? Foley artists, their entire purpose is to make sound for movies, animated, live action. In animation, they're especially important because you can't just use the sounds that you made during the recording. during a live action, because there is no action. It's just animation. So Foley artists are very important in both of those genres. So as a simple example here, they'll use like weird objects to make certain sounds. So for a flock of birds flying away, for just like a few, sometimes they'll flap a few feathers together. For a massive flock of birds, some people will even use gloves and just smack them together to create the illusion of birds flying away. And while it isn't a realistic sound, our minds process it as, you know, a cartoony little sound effect. It doesn't take us out of it. And it's not overly goofy, so it just kind of fits in. So frequently, Foley artists use very strange and unorthodox methods to make these sounds. What you'd expect to make a sound is not always a one-for-one replication. I already talked about it with the gloves to replicate the sounds of, you know, birds flying away. So you already get the sense that like it's not always a one-for-one recreation. If someone's gonna like snap someone's bones, you don't just get like a bone from like a chicken or something and snap it. No. There are better ways to make that sound. For the sense of bone crunching, they'll use celery. Because celery, it has this like dry, you know, just horrendous crunching noise when you twist it. And it does genuinely sound like a bunch of bones crunching. For the sounds of punching, they'll frequently use just someone cutting like a piece of meat, very frequently a steak. The weirdest example of sound design to me is in A Quiet Place. They needed a sound for their main monster's echolocation. So what they did is they just held a taser up to a grape, and they just kind of like tased a grape, and they slowed down the individual pulses in post to make that signature clicking noise that the monsters make in that movie. In addition to that, it's not always as simple as just finding the right sound for the job. A lot of the time they need to layer multiple sounds to create something realistic sounding. So as an example, I'm pretty sure we're all familiar with Ice Age. Very, very famous, very popular movie. The Foley artists for that movie were tasked with making a sound for Manny the Mammoth stepping, right? He's this massive animal, so they have to make it sound massive, but it also has to blend in with the world. So they used this log, right? And it had a little cloth wrapped around the bottom to represent fur, I suppose. And you just kind of thumped it for the main stomping sound effect, and it was loud and it's hefty, but it's not everything you need. So we layered, along with that, the sounds of grass crunching, because realistically, beneath such massive feet, you're going to hear the sounds of the grass crunching beneath it. I believe there were a few more sounds layered as well, but these are just some examples that come to mind. Come from something a lot less mundane, something kind of shocking, actually. I mean, let's be honest, sound layering sounds really boring. Some people it is. I think it's pretty interesting, personally. But so it's undoubtedly a lot more shocking is that some people will mimic like animal sounds for movies. Some people have gotten like super trained in just making animal noises. So sometimes when you go to the theater and you see this movie about this cute little puppy, sometimes the noises they make aren't by an actual dog, it's from some middle-aged man in a sound booth. Which I don't know, that's kind of funny to think about for me personally. So for a moment, I just want everyone to think, what would a world be without Foley artists? What exactly would that do to the film industry? It'd feel empty. The short of it is that it would feel really empty. Imagine a sword fighting scene without the metallic clanging and whooshing of the swords. Imagine just like a normal fight scene without the punch impacts and again the whooshing sounds. Imagine a death scene without those brutal skin-crawling, bone-crushing noises. People don't even get to make footsteps anymore in animated movies because footsteps are made by Foley artists to mimic the exact proportions and elements of that character in that movie. Without it, it all feels empty. It all feels unrealistic. A world without Foley artists, film just feels dead. It's just lifeless. So that's exactly why we need them in the industry. So I personally feel like Foley artists are kind of vital to this industry. It's one of my dream jobs, quite frankly. I just think it would be really cool and interesting to make sounds for a movie. And while it's an underappreciated job that not everyone talks about, it's definitely one that I think I'd get a lot of mileage and passion over. Sound design is something that I've been really wanting to get in, and I feel like the freedom of being able to make my own sounds for an entire movie, or even like a TV show or something, that's just really cool. I just think it's really neat. I don't really have any other like deep motivating passions. I just think it'd be awesome.
Alright, I feel like for artists is good. I feel like they should keep making sounds for the movies and make it more interesting and stuff like that. I feel like the movies are great when you add sounds to them. That would make everything great about Foley artists.
The sounds make the movie real good, and it makes them very lively. And they, you need to keep up the good work.
So you may be wondering how the life of a giant is. And now, I can say from experience, this sucks. If you thought it was good, I genuinely don't know where you're coming from. Let's discuss that, shall we? So, I'm not exactly sure how the situation happened, but I'm not exactly happy with it. Being a giant sounds... that's that guy's car. That's gonna be like $30,000. Okay, nah, he'll walk it off. That was a building full of probably hundreds of people that will now most likely plummet to their death. That is not a problem for current me to deal with, that would be a problem for future me. Hi, future me speaking. I thought about the situation. This sucks. I want this to end. Please help.
How do you feel about the upcoming election?
Tragedy that recently took place back in the United States. Over the weekend,
Sir,
a massive landslide swept through a tiny town called Oso in
Oh, hey, that's the dog. Hey.